we need to introduce ourselves?
Maybe.
Yeah. We'll introduce ourselves, I'll do that, and then you say, "Hi, I'm Dan.
I'm Hannah, and we are part of the We Are Tearfund community.
We're in Haiti this week to answer the question, what is the link between poverty and waste?"
In the UK, we're seeing more and more about how our lifestyles and our plastic waste affects the environment, but we want to know a bit more about what that looks like here.
The tide is turning on plastic in the UK. It's not just about our oceans and the environment, it has a real human impact. But we're here to hear stories about how plastic and waste impacts people living in poverty and how we can kickstart a rubbish revolution.
We know that up to 1 million people in the world die every year because of the impact of rubbish, but we wanted to know more about the story behind this statistic. So we caught up with Mark, who works for Tearfund in Haiti, who grew up in America but moved back to Haiti to work on the front lines with people who are living in poverty.
Mark, thank you so much for having us here in Haiti. As someone who was born here and moved away to America, grew up over there and came back to live here 4 years ago, how would you describe Haiti in 3 words?
Haiti in 3 words, I would say beautiful, challenging, and exciting.
Challenging in what way?
In every way.
A lot of people in the UK will know Haiti for the earthquake in 2010.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what's happened between then and now here?
Since the earthquake, there's been a lot of cleanup and a lot of community development that's been going on in a lot of different communities, both urban and rural communities. Unfortunately, we've continued to be hit by natural disasters, so we've had a number of hurricanes since then, and unfortunately we've had a lot of political instability as well. But it's really good to see that there are some communities who are developing and who are getting on their feet, even in the midst of a lot of issues like we are dealing with a drought, El Nino. We're dealing with a lot of food insecurity problems, not to mention all the social issues.
Yeah, and in Haiti there's quite a big proportion of people who are living in poverty.
Yeah.
What does that mean for them? How does that impact their lives?
Yeah. It's a big impact because it means that now these people who are already impoverished now have to deal with an added issue of waste and an added issue of impacts. So when you have a lot of people living in vulnerable communities that are already vulnerable to hurricanes because they live close to the sea, that are already lacking income, and now you couple that with the issue of waste, it means that people are not receiving the services that they should receive. People are not able to respond to different issues like hurricanes because their canals are flooded. And so it just causes another degree of problems for a lot of the most vulnerable people in our communities.
Just a few hours after chatting to Mark, we started to see how waste made life in Haiti more difficult. It contaminates drinking water, releases harmful gases when it's burnt, and blocks flooded waterways. The sheer volume of packaging that big companies sell turns the smallest of packets into a problem. But Mark took us to see how Tearfund is helping Haitians turn trash into treasure. So today we're visiting a project that's come up with a solution to a big problem. In Haiti, a lot of the water is distributed in these small sachets. It's convenient to transport, to store, and to drink from. The problem is they're made en masse. So one company alone produces 1 million a day, and there's countless other companies doing that. About 70% aren't recycled and aren't disposed of correctly, so they're just lying in the street, and many are burnt on the side of the road.
So these guys are coming up with a really cool way to recycle these plastic sachets. So what they're doing is they are melting them down and mixing them with sand, which then they can turn into bricks and paving stones, something that they can use to pave the roads and pave different areas here because the roads are quite bumpy, and so this will help to improve their infrastructure. And it's just a really cool way of taking something that is potentially going to be thrown away, is not really worth anything, and making it into something that's really incredible.
Meet Evie. Evie is 22 and has been teaching us about speaking out when it matters most. She has been getting together with some of her friends to talk about how their faith impacts how they look after the planet. Evie is also an incredible singer, and she's been using her gift to speak up on behalf of the 2 billion people in our world who live and work amongst piles of rubbish.
T'es un bel pays. Mais jodi a nous fin de péri. fatra gagne dans toute la rue, toute ravine avec débris au rempli. Après des gouttes la pluie, à pied nous pèse sorti. Oh, les temps changer mentalité nous. Propre doit commencer la caille nous. C'est vrai que si elle fait nous, est-ce que besoin de ces lumières qui pour faire nous? Identité la ville, c'est pas fatra de faire pile. Non, non, m'a chanté pour Haïti, bel espoir. Parce que fatra non pays notre roi. Toute nation yo déclaré nous pas propre. Mes amis, c'est ça, c'est toi. M'a chanté pour Haïti, bel espoir. Pour l'homme canal rivière nous yo pour. M'a chanté pour Haïti, bel espoir.
One of the really incredible things about having been in Haiti is just how beautiful it is. Like whenever you're landing, you're coming across the beaches and the crazy blue sea and the mountains, and it's so green. And when we've been around the place, we've been seeing like incredible flowers and like tropical fruit. It's just such a beautiful country to be in, and it's such a privilege to get to see that. It's like a tropical paradise. But I guess then at the same time, we're then visiting places where we're standing amongst just piles and piles of rubbish and plastic and burning rubbish, and it can be really, you can forget about what you saw of the beauty of the country whenever you arrive and you're standing in that moment and seeing how that impacts their lifestyle. It's like it's a jarring moment of the two being side by side, isn't it?
So I think my main reflection from our time here in Haiti is that it's really important for us to be aware of how much we're producing, how much waste we're using, what happens to it, where it goes, are we recycling it? What would it mean for us to really consider how much plastic we use, where it goes? So that could look like keeping a plastic diary of just understanding how much you use in a week, or being aware in a 24-hour period of how much you're buying, bottle of Coke here, bottle of Coke there, packaging. When you do the weekly shop and we fill the fridges, how much plastic is there? Yes, it's convenient for our food to be packaged that way, but unless we look out for the ways in which we consume plastic and the ways in which we produce waste, we can't take our first steps to making a difference for ourselves, but also in particular the people living on the other side of the world.
I think another big thing as well we can do when we get back to the UK is to remember that actually we can speak up about it as well. We can make a big noise about the rubbish situation there is in our world. Right from where we are normally in the UK, and whether that is sharing stuff on our social media or being plugged into conversations like this about actually what is going on around the world, telling other people about what we know to be the situation in different places, or whether that's speaking to big companies that we need to challenge, or speaking to the government that we need to challenge, and using the opportunity we have to make a big noise about the situation and how we can make a difference.
Definitely. And if you at home have enjoyed seeing a bit of Haiti and you want to make a difference, one of the first things you can do is subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can follow us on Instagram, we are Tearfund, where we give all kinds of advice, videos, articles on how you can make a difference to the people living in poverty.